So this is Adam Martin. Anybody know Adam? He's been gone a little while. We use his picture along our recruiting materials. It's a good picture of his senior. Do what?
Does he have a sister?
You know, I don't know. He's from Gilmer. I don't know. Is that the same person you're thinking about? So the purpose of this is to support the vocal division in the choral ensembles. Basically, this fund is our main operating fund for the choral department. And it supports these kind of things. So we, well, it serves several purposes. One, as a service to the university, we provide a choral experience for any student to participate. So you don't have to be a music major to perform in an ensemble. Now, as you were asking about the band, it is a requirement of the degree for our students to be in so many ensembles as part of the degree. So we're also serving our music majors and minors. But we have, we probably have 40 students that sing in a choir that are not majors and serve that. And then, of course, the choir performs concerts on campus and at campus events like we had yesterday. And we're a big recruiting force, maybe not as loud as the band, but we're out recruiting all the time. We sing a couple times a year at churches in the Metroplex just to sing in front of those people. Let them know and how many times do I do that and people go, "Where's A in Commerce?" Mm-hmm. Well, it's in Commerce. And then if I say East Texas State, they go, "Oh, I knew that." So one, just to kind of get our name out there that we're out here, but we do a recruiting tour in the Metroplex in the fall. Usually a one-day, we try to sing at 3 or 4 schools, and then in the spring we take a longer trip, and that's a big part of this budget. This year we went to San Antonio and we sang for 6 schools in 3 days, and so we're just getting in front of the kids. And when we go, we take our university materials and department materials, and we're passing all that out. But the biggest thing we do for the university is we sing really well. And then so the students that hear us want to be a part of what we're doing because they like what they hear. So we are recruiting. And then an ambassador for the university. We're singing at clubs and various events all over the Metroplex. And then the choir really supports the needs of our music majors as education students. They're learning what that process is like to stand in front of a choir and what that rehearsal looks like. So as they get to do that eventually, we're perpetuating the field by this. And then I listed the same things. You know, all of the support of the mission is the same in all of these activities that we do. And then again, if this were not, well, the budget is going to support the daily operations of the program. So I've listed some staff that we hire, purchasing music, developing concerts, our tours are part of this budget. And then, so again, I put recruiting activities and then concert development. So those are, you can see them more itemized in the packet. And then again, if it was cut, it would be hard to sustain a choral program without the support. I've worked at 3 universities. And the first was highly supported by the university funding. The other 2, Georgia State and here, were completely supported by funds like this. And so that's kind of a typical model for a lot of universities. And I know it may not be ideal, but it's how we function and put things together and make it work for us. I think it would affect recruiting. I think like the marching band, when groups hear us sing, they want to find out about the school, even if they're going to major in some other degree other than music. And then our overall student body not having access, and then the community not having access to good performances. All right, so that's my presentation on this one.
Okay, questions?
What are your student labor setup? Is it possible, instead of using student workers, to do like a work-study program to offset some of those costs?
You know, I don't know the answer to that because I'm not really privy to exactly how. I think, could you tell us that?
Those funds, if somebody is eligible for college work study, the federal government pays 75% of that. We still have to consider, we don't look specific. Dr. Hooper is going to use people who know what the choral library needs to look like, so we can't just advertise for anybody who's college work study eligible. So if one of those students happens to be federal work study eligible, by golly, we'll hire them tomorrow.
Right.
But generally, it's the expertise necessary, and then funding comes after that.
We do say, I guess, to address that, when we're looking for somebody to fill those positions, if are there any of you who qualify for work study who'd be interested in doing this? We do put that out there, and I've not really ever had anybody that's had that to be able to use it, that is qualified to do the job. Sure. Yes, ma'am.
I see that you distribute 100 CDs and that costs $1,500. You guys sell those?
No, those are recruiting promotional materials. So we do some recordings, and we take those out to high schools and let them hear the sample of what we do.
Dr. Hoover, you guys charge for your concerts
No.
and anything that?
You know, the only thing, we charge for the gala at Christmas time, and that helps fund, like, we had an opportunity to sing when we went to Austria. All that money helps support the Austria trip. That money helps support the Carnegie Hall trip. We try to provide our students some kind of unique experience every 2 or 3 years like that, as the wind ensemble and the chorale. Yes, ma'am.
So I was looking at the previous budget to the one now. It did go up by about $5,750. Is that the additional student labor that y'all are requesting for?
It's partly that, and then I think you'll see that I think I increased a little bit the cost of music and the cost of the tour, maybe. It just, as we get more students, we've become more successful recruiting more students. Our department's growing, and the expenses go up when you have more students. Yes, sir.
Can you talk about, or I guess clarify what director travel, recruiting?
Yeah, so I go to TMEA, ACDA, and TCDA and recruit at those conventions. And so that's just supporting my travel to get there. So we can, sometimes we have official booths, and sometimes it's about just being a presence at those places to recruit. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any numbers that show that this recruitment is improving the music department here?
I wish I could have had the exact numbers, but I don't have specific numbers. But I will tell you, every year when we do our auditions, a kid will say, I saw you at so-and-so, you directed my choir at all region, these things, and they come to the, one girl came to me and said, we sang a piece on our Christmas concert, and it was a piece that they had sung at an all-region concert, and I got to conduct our all-region, and she said, this piece is the reason why I'm at your school, because how you did that in rehearsal and how you performed it. She said, I knew then I wanted to be in your choir. So David may have some more specifics on something like
It's a
that.
little bit anecdotal, and Dr. Hooper probably won't say it this way, but Dr. Hooper came one year after Professor Clemens did, who did the marching band last year, and the size of the music program has doubled since we've hired those 2 people.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other reasons, but generally speaking, those 2 people are responsible for approximately 170 extra music
Our
videos.
beautiful building helps with that too.
So, Dr. Hooper, I don't know much about the arts. $8,000 for sheet music. To
It
me,
sounds
that
like a
seems
lot, doesn't it?
astronomical. How's that play
It's
out?
because we have crooks in the business. Music has gotten more expensive because of this, Xerox machines.
Yep.
So publishers are charging more for each copy because so many people steal from the publisher. So now it's between $2 to $3 for a choir to buy one piece of music, and we're talking about buying 100 pieces of music for one piece. It gets expensive. So yeah, that now some people are trying to get. There are occasionally we can do these e-print things where you pay $50 and get to copy on your own. But yeah, that's expensive.
And even when Dr. Hooper publishes his own work or arranges his own work, if it's through a publishing company, he can't just make his own copies of his own piece. He has to buy the published copy of his own work.
And as a published editor and composer, you know, let's say it's $2 a piece of music, I get 10% of that. The publisher gets the rest.
So you're really breaking it in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got a royalty check for $45 last year. Good for you. Yeah, right. Yeah, I took my wife to a cheap dinner. Good. Anything else?
Other questions?
Do we move on to? George, you have another question?
I mean, I'm curious, I don't know if this will contribute much, but for the CD recording session, is that done on campus? Okay. And it's just-
We do bring in an engineer when we do that, just so we have a higher quality recording session,
Right.
because of our capabilities more for an archival recording. So that's the expense, is the engineering expense. Okay? And it's just the other one, David, that they're all down at the bottom.